Kia ora koutou, ko Angela Caves tōku ingoa, no mai, haere mai. Welcome to the Bay of Plenty Business Growth and Support Virtual Conference. My name is Angela Caves and I'm the Partnership and Events Lead with Digital Boost. It's my pleasure to be hosting you this afternoon. Apologies that we're a couple of minutes late. Thank you for your perseverance. Welcome to our audience who have joined us in the webinar, and a warm welcome to those joining via our live stream on either Facebook, LinkedIn or YouTube this afternoon. We are sharing the breadth of support available to the Bay of Plenty region throughout the conference over the next 3 days. On the webinar this afternoon, I have my co-host from connected.govt.nz, Tina. Welcome, Tina. I'm going to get Tina to run us through some quick housekeeping and then introduce our guest speaker. Thanks, Tina.
Kia ora koutou, ko Tina Gerard Takuingo. I am the Employment Liaison Advisor for Connected, based in Western Bay of Plenty. So for those of you who are joining us in the webinar, you can see and hear us, but we can't see or hear you. So please feel free to add any questions or comments into the chat or by using the Q&A function that's available. We'll address any questions towards the end of the presentation. Our sessions are being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube, a YouTube playlist on Digital Boost channel or post-event viewing. All registered attendees will be provided a link into this via email. It is now my pleasure to introduce Zella from Te Puni Kōkiri.
Welcome, Zella. Jump in and share screens.
Ngā manaki kia koutou katoa, ko Zella Morrison tēnei, ko tōku papa no te arua, ko tōku mama me Ngāti Maniapoto, me Ngāti Rārua. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Zella Morrison aho. I am the manager of the Māori Enterprise team that is for Te Puni Kōkiri, and I'm currently based in Tāmaki Makaurau. So our role here is to tautoko whānau Māori businesses in terms of their growth, but more recently in terms of the events that have just occurred, particularly with the floods in Tāmaki and now surrounding the country, which some of you may have experienced yourselves in the areas that you're living in, or whānau that you may have residence or occupation in the greater Ikaroa Rāwhiti Rohe. So ngā mihi kia koutou katoa for that whānau who are really affected. I've just come off another hui talking to some whānau businesses who are currently there, and we feel their mamai, their hurt, and the current situation that they're in. So Te Puni Kōkiri is here to hear those stories and to help whānau in those areas. Just a bit of a background. Tina, my own daughter actually was with the Connected whānau based out at Henderson in West Auckland, so we have been out there to visit her to talk to what we do at Te Puni Kōkiri. So I completely appreciate and understand what the Connected and Digital Boost mahi is about. So tēnā kōrua, tēnā kōrua. Really good mahi that you're doing. So now whānau, I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you. Normally there's someone there who can help me with this minor technical thing for some of you, but for me, I'm kind of in between presentations. So I'm now going to click over to the one that I have. Let me know, Tina or Angela, if it's coming up on screen. I'm looking at it myself. Have you guys got it?
So if you just go from beginning, we are ready to go.
Okay, very good. Ngā mihi. Okay, so do you see that there? I've got it there.
Yeah, if you can just click from beginning.
Yeah,
again.
I've done that. I'll click it again. Is that it?
Yeah. Okay, maybe it was just taking a second. So we've got.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect. There we go. That's wonderful. Thanks, Zella.
Hapai. So these are our, what the focus on Te Puni Kōkiri is to support whānau to thrive. We are very fortunate that I look after a team of 12 people, and Te Puni Kōkiri is in 6 rohe, Te Taitokero, Tāmaki Makaurau, Waikato Waiariki, Te Tai Hauauru, and Te Waipounamu. So we have 2 of those advisors in each of our rohe, and here's some of their happy smiling faces, which we cover. What we do at Te Puni Kōkiri is basically work to what, hang on, taihoa, I'm just double checking. Yep, that's it. Is we are working towards our, everyone has a strategy that we have to work to. The Te Puni Kōkiri one, the big thing is for whānau to thrive. The specific priority that our whānau have to work with is in the Māori economic resilience strategy. So that's one of the 3 priorities for Te Puni Kōkiri. We are government's principal policy advisor across the region. Okay, so that's our function. So even though we're doing policy, we also have some teams within Te Puni Kōkiri that are actually on the ground delivering into our whānau families, whether that's for whānau order, our whenua whānau, and also our housing whānau. So we sit firmly in the economic resilience space. Now, given the events of the last week, we're very much playing a role in that resilience and recovery space. So these are the regions that we cover. We've got some names there. Some of you may know the names, maybe familiar with you in some of those areas. We've got Karantaka, Ihaka, Linden. Ihaka is really north of Whangarei, Kirikiri right up to Kaikohe. Waikato Wairiki, Jim Wilson's been with us for some time, and Jackie Smith is with Te Puni Kōkiri. Te Tai Hauauru, Maria Kere, she actually hails from the north, and Holly Parekowhai. In Tamaki, there's myself, Pedina Quinlivan, and Richard Williams. And Ikaro Rāwhiti, we have Hera Katipa and Aidan Collin. And in the south, Karen Roos has been in Dunedin for some time, and Shannon Smith used to work with Ngāi Tahu, and then he's come across to our region. So those are the regions that we work across. What we say as a team is we want to be well connected and engaged with our team, that we serve our whānau. We are servants of our people. We are servants of the taxpayer. We are servants of the ratepayers. So we want to be connected. One of the goals that we aim for is to connect our team with any resources that are available across government agencies and also the private sector as well, because we want them to grow, we want them to be successful. And the aim obviously is to contribute into what we call this Māori economic space. However, I tend to call our businesses as working in the Māori business landscape. So if I can just share with you, and you can visualize, you're coming to a pā. And at the waharo, you're going to be met with what our team calls themselves as navigators. So in the pā, we have Te Puni Kōkiri whare. Within that whare, we provide pūtea to Māori tourism, our Māori women's development. We support procurement and, some of the media stations as well. And with our team, we're also in the whare. If you visualize then that in the village or the pā, there are other whare. That whare could be NZTE, which is New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, that deals mainly with export. We have the whare of Callaghan Innovation, which deals mainly with creatives and inventive, entrepreneurs. And we also have the other whare, like I said, Māori tourism and all of those other whare primary industries that we can facilitate and navigate to. So we like to collaborate with other advisors and across the agency. We do provide support to businesses because we want them to be successful. And we, like every government agency, we're absolutely responsible for our taxpayers' pūtea. So we ensure that there's best practice and processes to support those businesses. And at the same time, we're also gathering a lot of information from those businesses to help us support other investment pūtea that may help them grow. One of the big things is that you may have heard is around progressive procurement. And progressive procurement is an area that we see where Māori can be more involved We are increasing the opportunity for Māori businesses to get government contracts. So that essentially is progressive procurement. For instance, kāinga order, they can reach out to us and say, do you have any builders that are capable of building, say, 10 homes in an area that they want to build? We go through our database. We can recommend some builders, but at the same time we're doing that, some of those builders' businesses may come to us and say, actually, we do want more government contracts, but we need some help on our health and safety policy. We need some help in some HR because we want to increase the number of employees that we have. So the progressive team and our team work closely together to provide what we call additional professional advice to those businesses. So if a business comes to us, and I'm using the example of a builder, we want to get a kāinga order contract, but we do need some help. So our team will work with that business, do the assessment, and we will probably identify what their needs are as they have, health and safety, HR, maybe legal or marketing. So we would then support that business to get the appropriate professional advice that they need to help them grow. The key factor with Te Puni Kōkiri and progressive procurement is that we're only talking about government contracts, and these are accessible through the GETS website. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with that, but if you're not, go on gets.govt.nz, and that gives you an overview on what it offers in the government procurement opportunities. So that's the area that we're working in. We do understand that there is amotai also available. They, they do support not only government contracts, but council contracts and even private contracts that may come through, let's just say a company like Air New Zealand. It's not government or council, but they may be looking at people to build additional facilities or different additional services that are available at Auckland Airport. So that's another form of procurement. So that kind of covers the areas that we're working in. The outcomes that we want to achieve, obviously, the connection. We want to see businesses grow. We want to see a number of increases of our Māori enterprises that's accessing support within, the business landscape. We're also supporting new to business. People may have an idea and they say, I'm not too sure about this business. I really want to understand what's available. So we may be their first point of contact. And, an idea may lead into a great business opportunity. So we're very open to hear about those. Again, with the progressive procurement contract, to increase the number of Māori businesses that have opportunities to those government contracts. And then we have the existing businesses who may start thinking of additional ideas. Currently, there's an example of that. We've got a guy who's a carpet layer. Now, he's developed this tool that he thinks can help him and his business lay carpet a lot more efficiently. So we're working with him not only for some marketing opportunities, but also some facilitation into Callaghan Innovation that works with those kind of new ideas, particularly technical ideas. And so obviously the primary outcome is tino rangatiratanga that we can increase whānau, their own way, how they want to work, an opportunity to run their own businesses the way they are, that contributes to their own whānau well-being. And here, just sharing just one of our documents again, we've got our Māori Economic Resilience Strategy at the top, our goal to support businesses, our high-level outcomes, and our one-year goals. And then from there, we develop our actual work program that we aim to achieve. So just talking about some gold nuggets that we have, we're also including some climate change action plans and how we deliver our work programs, because we know that it's with us today. All the weather patterns tell us that, the change in that. And so far, new to businesses, these are the number of businesses that we've received and supported, as well as existing businesses. We're also very mindful that there are other business networks in Aotearoa. We try and support those within their own rohe. We respect that some business networks have been working on their own for some years, so we try and support them individually as a rohe, very respectful of the mana whenua status that they have in their own rohe. That's very, very important, that we observe their tikanga and practices, and that's an overview that we have with Te Puni Kōkiri, is to support the existing business networks in each of those regions. And what we have found, given the recent events, is that those networks are absolutely critical to informing how we can help in our main office in Wellington with spreading further investment out to the rural areas, as well as our cities that have been impacted. And, you know, we cross many ships also of the industry sectors. We're finding that the industry sector that we get a lot of inquiries from is our building and construction sector. So really that's really a very brief overview of what we offer at Te Puni Kōkiri. So, he pātai, kia au, kia rite, I'm ready to take any questions you may have of me. So, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Oh, good. And you've taken the great, I'm not sharing. Thank you, Angela. Thank you,
No problem.
Tina.
You're most welcome. We have got a couple of questions. So first of all, are there any local Māori business networks that our viewers could contact? So we're talking about in the Bay of Plenty region.
Yeah, I understand that there's one in Rotorua, and my advisor there, Jackie Smith, she's the person they can contact. And I understand also that they're working on one in Whakatane. I actually went to the Tauranga Business Awards in December last year, and it was the very first time that they had a Māori Business Award, and Te Puni Kōkiri actually sponsored that award. So that was again supported by the local Tauranga Māori Business Network.
Brilliant, thank you. I'm sure Tina is on the ground there in Mount Maunganui, who will be able to point you in the direction of some of those contacts as well for any of our viewers.
Yeah.
And so presumably, are you aware of any other events that our viewers can register for with those different Māori networks as well? So perhaps is there regular breakfast that they can attend to start their business networking, or any other events?
I think the Tauranga Business Association, all those associations, if you become a member, I'm sure they could help you in that.
Nice. Thank you. And then support for Māori women in business, no matter what stage they're at. So are you aware of, I know we've got Māori Women's Development joining us tomorrow afternoon, but is there anyone else that you're aware of specifically from like taking an idea through to kind of growth in these small businesses?
We actually find that our wahine Māori businesses are extremely connected, and I don't know whether it's because, you know, they've got this drive to be connected as wahine Māori. We know that a lady called is it By Māori Made, Michelle Paki? She started initially as a wahine business, but now it's actually growing to an online business where she supports women, you know, who are selling their products and all sorts of, you know, whether it's candles or well-being or hot water or, you know, gifts as well. But we're finding through one of our reports, actually, Te Mata Pairo, that's available. If you Google that Te Mata Pairo, it says that wahine Māori businesses are very much increasing. And so we do recognise that in our contribution to the Māori Women's Development Inc. as well.
Brilliant. So I guess if any of our businesses are watching and looking at, you know, how do they start engaging with the likes of TPK to, if they've perhaps got something that's going to sit in that Callaghan space, do you guys facilitate that relationship? If they've got an idea or something innovative that they want to start progressing?
Yeah, very good question, Angela. And that's why I try and paint the picture of coming to a Pārua village at the Waharoa. I want to start a business. Who can I talk to? Oh, I'm already existing business. I don't know where to navigate myself in, the government space. So we like to think that we're at the Waharoa, guiding those people through the right whare. Whether it's an idea, they can come to us, and it may be that we can then facilitate them to MSD for some business planning pūtea to help them create their business plan. We also work very closely with Potama Trust. Potama Trust is a grant entity, so we try to say, well, actually, we can provide this business professional advice. Potama may say, well, actually, we can provide a grant to X amount of dollars. That's a 50-50, and I'm sure you're going to have them online to discuss what they offer too. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. We have had another question just pop through in our Q&A. Kia ora, who is setting up network in Whakatane?
I think I can't give you the name of that person, but what I can do is give you the name of our advisor in Whakatane. Her name is Jackie Smith. And if you reach out to the Te Puni Kōkiri office in Whakatane, they will directly guide you towards Jackie, who can help you who that connecting person is in Whakatane.
Thank you. And also our connected team also will be able to facilitate that connection as well. If you're not quite ready to take those steps, and you kind of a few months down the track, you want to say, okay, can't remember who that was, please head over to Connected, because they will certainly be able to facilitate that connection through to Jackie and Whakatane or any of the other team from TPK. That is all the questions that we have. So I just want to, it's really lovely to hear. We've had Potama Trust on our conferences before for different regions. They didn't join us for this one, but lovely to hear the way the business support ecosystem is working together. We've got Amotai joining us, MSD. So there is so much support out there. And if one organisation isn't able to help support, they will definitely facilitate that connection into another organisation so that we can get your business to where it needs to be. Just want to thank Zella and her team from TPK for joining us this afternoon. It's been wonderful to have you, and thank you so much for sharing about all the mahi that your team is doing and what TPK is doing. It's been wonderful to hear. So thank you again. I will just make a quick note up on screen here. I have popped in the details for the connected team for the Bay of Plenty region. So if you need to reach out to any of them, you can drop into any of the centres there and have a chat with either Tina, Gino or Lats, who are in those locations as well. Digital Boost is here to help support your business on its digital transformation journey, and we do work in collaboration with a lot of the organisations that we've got joining us throughout the conference. So if you need any support in that area, please head over to Digital Boost and sign up. We have an award-winning customer service team who are sitting waiting to help you with your next steps there, and you can hear more in depth about us on Thursday afternoon when we do a presentation within the conference. That does bring our session to a close. We will be joined at 3:15 by New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. So if you are wanting to explore the export market for your organisation, please do join us. We're going to have some really good information from the team from NZTE at 3:15 this afternoon. Then tomorrow we're going to be joined by a lot of the regional agencies, so the local chambers of commerce and the economic development agencies. So we'd love to see you in those sessions as well. Other than that, I just want to thank you again, Zella and TPK, for joining us. Thanks, Tina, for co-hosting with me this afternoon. And I'll see you all in future sessions. Thanks, everybody.
Kia ora.
Ngā mihi kia koutou katoa. Thank you for the opportunity. Kia ora.
Thank you.
Kia ora.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.